So tell me, where do we begin? We start with the failures in the end, or the ever burden it pretends? See, I know like me, for you, it all started with a dream to reach the skies that they showed you, but they never mentioned the humbling fall. Was ambition your sin? I can testify it wasn't, because you've let us get to know you, so no one can ever say you never risked it all. And as we tell this story, not history, your story, the story you've let us tell, because you let us in, from the beginning to the end and everything within. I hope that you know that every day is an adventure with you, for all the bold ventures that you see through. Honestly, everything about Arts Marvels is community. That's the biggest focus.
I said, everybody say, Lazy, we wanna party. Let's go.
So my name is Aziz Sani. Now try to go by Aziz. I try to, anyways. I represent Arts Marvels. I'm the founder of Arts Marvels, and Arts Marvels is essentially like an organization that was created to foster artistic development and artistic growth, and provide like a safe space or a safe haven for innovators, artists, and community developers to come, feel safe, engage, grow, network, discover themselves, and put their ideas into action, essentially. So, it started as a university club. There's a little idea when I was in Nigeria to start Arts Marvels. It was actually called Arts Marv then. And essentially it was like the name of the people I was sitting around the table with. Like I take the first names of everyone, and it somehow spelled Arts Marv, which is nice. But it started in Nigeria. I did a few things, did a few concerts and whatnot, and then when I moved to Lethbridge, with the help of some mentors, was able to curate like an idea, and then we turned it into a university club. And then that officially became like a symbol of community in, I believe, 2019. On the 28th of November is the date I like to use, which happens to be my little sister's birthday. She doesn't know this, but yeah.
Introducing Aziz. Alright, so up next we have a person I would personally call as a jack of all trades, an entrepreneur. He's a dancer, he's a musician, he raps.
Alright, so we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you bump your head. Pop. Everybody come, bump your head.
The impact of the community and what people are able to get out of it when they engage with Arts Marvels is what Arts Marvels tries to take away from what it creates, right? So everything from when we were a club, trying to engage as many people who wanted to be involved as possible, take all the volunteers who wanted to, anybody who needed like, oh, I just want to do this because I want to get a reference, or I want to be able to show that I worked with this organization this type of way. I'm always happy to do that. Or to the events that we throw, like very, very intentional with making sure that like it's community orientated, it's for the community, and people like have a chance to like plug themselves and big up themselves, right? Even to the dance workshops, right? The live workshops where we bring people on stage to come dance. It's to showcase them, right? It's not us just wanting to come perform. It's us wanting to involve the community in these kind of performances so that they're engaged as possible. So it's a two-way thing. And the community has been pretty helpful. Not always, right? There's always a decent amount of skepticism. But like to a certain degree, there's been like a lot of like great people out there who support it, like the Strudel brand, the Gold, the University of Lethbridge has always been supportive to a certain degree, obviously with involvement in the club, BIPOC Foundation, the Southern Alberta Ethnic Association. These people have, in one way or the other, helped uplift the idea as well. So yeah. I mean, we work a lot with the Bible Foundation because there's been a huge room for like collaboration in there, and it's become almost seamless how it's worked out. And I think for me, it was a perfect fit because like just the collaborative and the constructive nature of what BIPOC tries to do for the BIPOC community is similar to what Arts Marvels wants to do for the art community and for artists who are BIPOC community members. So there's a lot of like exciting projects in the pipeline. We've now established like an artist partnership with the CASA. So we're going to start a series of like artistic workshops with CASA starting in February, beginning with dance. In the summer, we're thinking of spreading that over into other forms of art. And there's this huge project that we're working on as well. Maybe it won't be ready for another 2-3 years. I keep that one close to my chest, but I genuinely feel like if it doesn't end up being taken up, it will revolutionize the way people view art in the city.
Arts Marvels CA and register for the dance studio. It's a lot of fun, pretty affordable as well. And what we're doing today is called a live workshop. So I do these workshops like.
There's been a lot of challenges with accepting what we want to try to create, with trying to find ways to, pivot. That's a huge word, because we've pivoted a lot of times from saying we want to achieve this, so let's try it a different way compared to how we're trying to do it right now. But yeah, I think the mistrust has been there. The lack of financial aid has definitely been there. The lack of resources or organizations willing to want to work with us, it's been there as well. And everything that Arts Marvels does, if it's not collaborative, there's honestly no point. And so those collaborations are the bedrock of it. So sometimes when you struggle with people to collaborate with, consistently, you find the right people to say, we believe in what you're trying to do. Let's work it out together. I think one of the biggest ones is, and I'm just gonna speak as a black man, and it's difficult to understand, but sometimes mistrust, not just from people outside, but even my own kind. I do it because of a lack of understanding of what we're trying to achieve, or just not wanting to necessarily buy into it, or not just caring enough to be supportive or seeing the importance of it. Those are some of the challenges that I've been faced for sure. Part of the reason why I brought you guys back here to this space where it all started for me. Before I started doing anything with Arts Marvels or working on events or working as a dancer, I was the vice president of the Afro-Caribbean Club at the University of Lethbridge, and I think that's where collaborations really started for me and became key, because we all came, the exec team at that time, we all came from numerous backgrounds, and regardless of ego and inability to get along and all those type of personal differences, we all found a way to work to achieve tangible impact for the Afro-Caribbean community. And yeah, that has helped me develop personally and professionally in terms of how I think about collaborations. In the story of how Arts Marvels has developed, first from a student club or a student body, to now an actual incorporated organization represented in Canada is huge. But then even little things like when we hosted our first dance workshop at the University of Lethbridge, being able to pay the instructor that hosted that workshop. We had about 17 people. That was a massive achievement. We had a series of workshops. We did a bunch of events at the Owl. There was an event that we did with the SAEA, a masquerade ball that saw over 150 students attend. That was massive as well. Being able to work with the Bible Foundation and some of the organizations that we are currently working with, including the artist partnership we now have with CASA, is huge. I wouldn't say there's any massive one yet. Maybe it's because there's one in my head that sticks out that we haven't quite achieved yet, but there's been a lot of nice little milestones that when you put together, the journey has been worth it, and it motivates you to keep going on. I find motivation in family. I find motivation in what actually got it started in the first place. Family first and foremost, because I don't think there's anybody I love more than my mom. Don't tell her enough, but for me it's like just being able to give her what I know she wants. She doesn't ask for much, but it's a huge motivation, whether it's through my ideas or just through hard work, personally speaking. That's really important to me. And then the other part of it is why I started in the first place. Like the whole idea behind Arts Mom was I grew up in a neighborhood. I was one of the more fortunate people in that neighborhood as a kid, but I was not even close to being the most talented. Sorry if this sounds cocky, I like thinking of myself as a very talented person, but I was not even close to being the most talented. There was people who could do unimaginable things without any education, but they were never gonna go anywhere. In the most respectful terms, like they were never gonna get off, like leave the neighborhood or leave their houses with that talent. It was crazy. And the initial idea was just, how can this be a thing? Like we have to be able to find ways, opportunities, or resources to give to people so that they can uplift themselves out of the positions that they are if they have the talent. Couldn't do that in Nigeria. I was relatively young. When I came to Lethbridge, I was like, I have this idea. So I spoke to a university hub, and not necessarily going to name them, but I'm going to name the person who helped motivate me. Her name is Brandy Old. Shout out to you, Brandy, if you're watching this. But Brandy just showed me that your dream also can live here. Because think about it, whatever gaps you think you were trying to close in Nigeria, the same gap exists here. There's a lot of artists who don't know who to turn to, who don't know how to collaborate, who don't know how to monetize what they're trying to do, or what opportunities that they can access, so it can live here as well. So I think for me that's a huge thing, and just keeping in line with that like keeps me motivated, because then when we can see someone say, hey, I was able to do that for the first time ever because I worked with Arts Marvels, that's it right there. And that kind of thing keeps you like going consistently. I think that for me, like, with like teaching, it's different things, right? Like when I'm teaching dance, right? Like I like to enjoy what I'm doing. When I teach a group of people or someone a dance and they end up like getting the piece like properly to the point where we like make a nice video or we perform it somewhere and it just looks sick the way I interpreted it to be. In terms of like curating events or like work on a little project, it's how what everybody else gets out of it. You know, when everybody can seem like they got some sort of fulfillment, they got some sort of satisfaction, and that's what really puts a smile on my face. Everybody that was involved says, you know what, I'm proud of the fact that we did this. That's top notch. That's what stands out to me, honestly. Obviously, the executive director of BIPOC Foundation, that's a huge one. That relationship changed my life. It developed over time, and BIPOC is a huge part of everything I do now, honestly. That definitely stands out. Mr. Clement and Senate, wherever you are, shout out to you. My mom is a huge part of everything I do in my life as well. Like, I always think about her, my sister. I always think about how to make her proud, find new ways to do that. Want to put a smile on her face. So, yeah, and I've got a couple of friends as well. I don't want to be name dropping, but Walumi, Michael, the team I work with like Arts Marvels and BIPOC Foundation, Renee, Annie, Rukshi, wonderful people. They make it worthwhile to actually do the things that you love to do. These kind of people, like, they keep you going, they motivate you even when you're down. So yeah, fantastic people to work with. I hate failing. I hate failing. I can't. If I start something, I gotta finish it. So honestly, from the moment that I started, I think in 2020, 2021, 2019 was the first time I actually knew what depression was. 2020, 2021 was the first time it hit me in a way where I wasn't even sure what was going on. And I think I didn't want to do anything, let alone Ars Marvels at that point. And I think that was the closest I ever came to saying, this is it. There's no shame in saying it didn't work out. There's no point anymore, it's fine. And genuinely speaking, I got a call from Clement, who's the executive director of Bible Foundation, and he headhunted me to come to his house. And they fed me jollof, and I'm like, these guys are trying to bribe me to get me to do something for them, aren't they? And they were talking to me about volunteering with BIPOC Foundation and seeing opportunities to collaborate between Ars Marvels and BIPOC and creating stuff together. And it didn't make sense to me at the time, but that moment changed my life because it gave me a new lease of life. It showed me there's people who actually believe, who care enough to, not necessarily, they don't have to know you. They see what you're trying to do. They see what you're trying to achieve. They understand how you can get to where you're trying to get to with their help, and they can get to where they're trying to get to with their help. And that moment changed everything. And it's no turning back from that. How much I don't know, there's a lot I don't know. There's so much. And how important people are around you. And you have to let them know how important they are. Being able to appreciate people is important, because you can't do things without people. You can't get anywhere without people. So you gotta make sure that you're keeping people in the loop, because the things you don't know, they will complement. The things that you don't know, they will help you achieve. They will help you get to the next point with. So that has definitely surprised me. But another thing that has surprised me is the things I've learned about myself, and having the crisis of, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I term myself as organized chaos, and sometimes the chaos takes over more than the organization, and that is surprising sometimes. But then, how you can spin that around to actually get to where you need to get to, I think is a win as well, that a lot of people need to be able to acknowledge, because almost everyone is organized chaos, whether we want to admit it or not, in some way or the other. So just honestly, support is the biggest thing. Support is anything from showing up to giving. You, as an individual who might be watching this, you underestimate the power of just being in a place. I'll give you an example. If we need 40 people to make an event a success, and we had 39, you could have been that 40th person, but you decided, I don't care. Obviously, not to say that you don't prioritize what you want to do as well, but the importance of showing up and caring enough to just support in one way or the other, just even for the sake of it sometimes, is important. And the other part is, we are all going through so much in life, man. You gotta be empathetic, sympathetic, you have to be understanding, you have to be flexible, and just try not to, you have your standards, have your principles, but so don't be a douchebag. Just try to be a decent human being to everyone you come across, and try to genuinely want to help without necessarily thinking about how you're gonna gain value out of it. So, my name is Aziz. I own a social enterprise, very community driven. That is, I'm the founder of a social enterprise, very community driven, that is called Ars Marvels. And we are the Bold Ventures documentary by Bible Foundation. Catch us in the next episode of Bold Ventures.
If you've ever felt like you're not the one who deserves all the love, it is obvious that you can.
It's actually gonna feel kind of relaxing. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.